The Galdorian star system thrived in its usual rhythm, a hub of activity within the sprawling Trade Confederation. Its skies were alive with sleek vessels gliding seamlessly between the planet's surface and orbiting trade stations. Galdoria, the central planet, stood as a shining testament to the Confederation's prosperity and technological prowess. Among the elite species of the galaxy, there was an air of confidence, even arrogance, in their dominance over trade and warfare. The idea of a threat within their borders seemed laughable. Commander Xorath leaned back in his control chair aboard the Sovereign Spear, the flagship of the Galdorian fleet. His dark, scaled skin reflected the dim lighting of the command deck. When his communications officer alerted him to an incoming transmission, he barely gave it attention. Alerts were common, often minor border incidents or trivial reports from distant outposts. The message came through, warning, a human warship has entered the sector. Xorath frowned, his ridged brow furrowing. Humans? He had encountered their kind before, though never in significant capacity. They were newcomers to the galactic stage, an odd species from a backwater planet. Their technology, while functional, was primitive compared to the elegance of the Confederation systems. Their behavior was erratic, unpredictable at best, reckless at worst. Still, Xorath doubted a single human ship could cause trouble. Display incoming data, Xorath ordered, more out of curiosity than concern. The screen on the command deck lit up, revealing the energy signatures and trajectory of the approaching vessel. At first glance, the data seemed unremarkable. Then he noticed the anomalies. The energy output was unusually high for a ship of its size, far exceeding standard Confederation parameters. Its trajectory was erratic, deliberately avoiding known patrol routes. Xorath leaned forward, his interest piqued. The vessel's design wasn't sleek or elegant. It was functional, almost brutish in appearance, but there was no denying its efficiency. A murmur ran through the command deck as officers exchanged uneasy glances. Xorath silenced them with a sharp motion of his clawed hand. Prepare the fleet for reconnaissance. Let's not overreact to a single ship. Word spread quickly through the Confederation. Other systems began monitoring the warship's progress, and chatter grew among the diplomatic channels. Humanity had remained largely on the periphery of galactic politics, but their boldness in sending a warship into Confederation territory without clearance raised questions. As Xorath reviewed the ship's specs, a deep unease crept over him. He tried to dismiss it as paranoia. Yet the more he analyzed the data, the clearer it became. This was no ordinary vessel. The message from the humans, brief and direct, arrived an hour later. This is the HSS Relentless. We mean no harm. However, we will not tolerate aggression. Xorath stared at the message for a long moment. A single human warship had entered his sector, and for the first time in years, he felt a flicker of doubt. Perhaps humanity wasn't as insignificant as the Confederation had assumed. The standoff between the Relentless and the Galdorian fleet stretched into hours. Despite their superior numbers and technological reputation, the aliens hesitated. Every analysis of the human warship suggested it was built for endurance and versatility, with weapons and systems optimized for a wide array of scenarios. The Confederation's ships, though superior in theory, were designed for specific roles. None of them seemed well-suited to counter the unpredictable nature of the Relentless. Commander Xorath stood in front of a holographic projection, surrounded by the faces of other Confederation leaders. The council was fractured. Some argued for an immediate strike to establish dominance, while others warned of underestimating the humans. Xorath found himself in the middle, unable to fully commit to either position. "They've positioned themselves deliberately," said one of the delegates. "They're waiting for us to make the first move." "It's a bluff." "Is it?" Xorath countered. "Their ship is unlike anything we've seen from them before. If it were a bluff, they wouldn't risk coming alone." As the debate raged, Xorath returned his focus to the Relentless. He initiated a deeper scan of the ship's design, trying to discern its weak points. Instead, he found an unnerving pattern. The warship systems were layered with redundancies, suggesting that it was built to survive prolonged engagements. Its weapons, though few in number, were versatile, capable of switching modes to counter different threats. Even its propulsion systems showed signs of adaptability, allowing for sharp maneuvers uncommon in ships of its size. Xorath began reviewing human history. It was a species defined by its struggles. Their earliest records detailed wars, natural disasters, and near-extinction events. Yet they had survived, often by turning adversity into opportunity. The Relentless was a reflection of that mindset. It wasn't just a warship, it was a statement of resilience. The Confederation's arrogance had always stemmed from their belief in superiority. The humans, however, operated on a different principle: adaptability. They didn't seek perfection in design, but rather the ability to overcome. Their history showed a relentless drive to innovate under pressure, to turn weaknesses into strengths. Meanwhile, a rogue faction within Xorath's fleet grew impatient. Against his orders, they launched a sudden strike, sending a volley of missiles toward the Relentless. The human ship reacted instantly. Automated defense systems activated, intercepting the missiles with precision. A burst of energy followed, disabling the attackers' propulsion systems without destroying the ships. The silence on the command deck was deafening. The human warship had demonstrated not just power, but control. It could have destroyed the rogue vessels, but chose not to. "This is your final warning," came the voice of the Relentless. "Humanity will not escalate this conflict, but we will defend ourselves if necessary. Withdraw." Xorath's claws tapped against the console. The humans had proven their point. They weren't interested in conquest or dominance. They wanted to be taken seriously. For the first time in his career, Xorath wasn't sure what the next move should be.